Hi, in this podcast, we're going to get into the match that has just been announced between PGA Tour players and Live Tour players. What does that look like? Will you watch it? And what does it mean for the overall picture of finding peace in professional golf? In the last week, it's been announced that there's going to be a match, an exhibition match between PGA Tour players and Live Golf players. It's going to take place in Las Vegas at Shadow Creek Golf Club on the 17th of December. And it's going to be between, on the PGA Tour side, Rory McIlroy and Scottie Scheffler, and on the Live Tour side, Bryson DeChambeau and Brooks Koepka. You really couldn't wish to have four more of the biggest names in professional golf, and certainly probably the biggest names on each tour. Now, there's definitely been a thawing out of the relationship between the tours on professional golf, and with Rory in particular, who for a long time was a staunch opposition of the Live Tour, and was very, very strong in his opinion that it needs to go away. That, he didn't like the format of it, and, it was bad for professional golf and all that kind of thing. But in the last year, his stance has softened completely. And I think that is when it's become the realisation that actually Live Golf is not going away. It's not going to disappear like they all hoped it would do on that side of the divide. And actually now it is part of the professional golf ecosystem. So they need to come together and now find a solution, whatever that is, to bring professional golf back together. And to be fair to Rory, he's definitely playing a pivotal part in trying to bring the two sides together. We've just had the Dunhill Links Championship in St Andrews, where Jay Monahan and Yasser Al-Rumayyan were seen playing golf together. All of the big names within the negotiations were all there in St Andrews that week. So you've got to think that behind the scenes there was a lot of talks going on. And certainly now having this match in Las Vegas between two of the biggest names on the PGA Tour side and two of the biggest names on the Live Tour side is a further indication that things are starting to come back in the right direction of bringing things back together. So what is this match actually going to look like? Well, it's being called the Showdown. I've got some information here. So like I say, it's going to be at Shadow Creek Golf Club. So that's already been criticised a little bit because it's one of the most exclusive golf clubs in America. Apparently, if you want to turn up and play Shadow Creek Golf Club now, the green fee, or your fee for the day, is going to be $1,250. So not a very accessible course. Some people are saying that they would have preferred this to take place on a course that is more accessible to us, the normal golfers. For me, that doesn't really matter. I suppose in an ideal world, if there was a great venue that was an amazing golf course and was willing to, because they would have been part of putting the money up to stage it there. That's another big part of this, is pulling the money together to put something like this together. The golf course, the host venue has to play a part in that. So if there was a host course that could do that and was affordable for the normal golfer to go and play, then that would be perfect. But trying to do that is that's not a very easy thing to do. But that aside, 17th of December, Shadow Creek Golf Course, the Showdown. And it's not part of the match series that we've seen before. It's something that's slightly separate to that. So it's going to be shown on a major US network. I don't know what that means, as in how accessible it's going to be for us, for me in the UK, but I'm guessing that I'll be able to watch it somewhere. The actual format of it hasn't really been disclosed yet, but you've got to think that it's going to be under some kind of 4-ball, better ball match play, you would have thought. I don't think they'll go down the skins game sort of route. So yeah, it'll probably be 4-ball, better ball, match play, I'm guessing, with some longest drives. When you've got people like Rory and Bryson and, Brooks and Scottie in particular probably are probably not the absolute, regarded as like the super long hitters on the tour. But I think if you've got a longest drive and you've got Rory and Bryson on the tee, then that's going to be interesting. They'll probably have some nearest the pin competitions as well. So the actual information on the format is pretty much non-existent at the moment. But first of all, please get in the comments. Are you going to watch this? Are you interested in watching this? I've got to say, I'm really interested in watching this. I think this is a great thing. And I actually also think that, you know, if Liv and the PGA Tour, after an agreement is found, and they both run as tours, and there's an agreement where, I don't know, you know, there's certain events where all the players come together, you know, I don't know what that's going to look like. But basically, if both tours continue to run in the future as part of this agreement, maybe at different times of the year or whatever, and maybe players can crisscross across the tours. I don't know. We don't know what it's going to look like, do we? But let's just say that the two tours run concurrently and they have members of tours on both sides. Then I think if there was a Ryder Cup style PGA Tour versus Liv Golf Tour event with the Ryder Cup format, then that would be a very, very spicy event to watch indeed. Whether we'll ever get to that point, I don't know. But for now, as far as a PGA Tour v Liv Tour event, this is the first one of its kind, and I don't think it's going to be the last. So please get in the comments, are you going to watch it? As far as what this means overall for the picture of professional golf and coming back together, this can only be a good thing. I think this is definitely a step in the right direction. And I do believe at some point it is all going to come back together. It is going to be some sort of a world tour, which is going to be played more around the world, mostly in the United States, but other events played in other big golfing nations like Australia, like Japan, like the UK. I think that's what the end game of this is going to look like. So at the moment, right now, sat here, they still seem a long way away from an agreement. But I do think, like I just said, that I think an event like this is definitely some baby steps in coming back in the right direction. Because I'm telling you now, 18 months ago, there is no way in the world that Rory McIlroy is getting on a tee and playing in a match like this with Bryson DeChambeau and Brooks Koepka. As much as what he might think of them personally, and I know he's very good friends with Brooks, you know, but that divide was so bad at the time. There was no way that a match like this could take place. So the fact that we're here now and this match is taking place between players on both sides of the divide, it can only be a positive thing in the overall picture of bringing professional golf back together. Again, get in the comments. What do you think? Do you agree with me on that? And lastly, please get in the comments, who do you think is going to win? Now, you know, it's almost a bit of a coin toss, really, because these are four of the best players in the world. Now, you'd have to say, on this year's play, and certainly on strokes gained statistics, that Scottie Scheffler is the most consistent and best player in the world. His strokes gained numbers from tee to green are absolutely astonishing, and you just feel like if he has an average to good week with his putter, then he's going to be very hard to beat. But do not underestimate Bryson DeChambeau, I think in particular on the Liv Golf side of this match, because Bryson has been playing some amazing golf on the Liv Tour this year. He won a major this year. He was close in other majors this year. And also, people might not take this too seriously, but I do watch Bryson's YouTube channel. I think he's doing a fantastic job on YouTube and definitely doing a lot to promote YouTube golf that can only be good for people like me who are trying to grow their channel on YouTube. But when you watch him on his YouTube videos in a very relaxed environment, oh my God, can that guy play golf or what? I mean, it is jaw-dropping at times, some of the things that he's doing on those golf videos on his YouTube channel. So, you know, Rory McIlroy, obviously, well, he's Rory McIlroy. If he's playing well, then, you know, he is an absolutely phenomenal golfer. And Brooks, we know, is an amazing competitor. You know, if Brooks goes into this with the same kind of attitude and eye of the tiger that he does when he's going into a major, then again, he is extremely, extremely hard to beat. And for me, you know, Brooks is a different animal on the first day of week of a major than he is on a regular event. I think he only really gets really up for events when they really mean something. And to him, that's the four majors and not too many else. Now, I might be doing him a big sort of like disservice there because he has played well on the Liv Tour this year and he has won a lot of events on the Liv Tour this year. And for me, The standard at the top of the Live Tour events is very high. I would say probably just as high at the very top of the events to win them. I think they're just as high, the standard on the Live Tour is on the PGA Tour. It's just that the depth on the Live Tour is nowhere near as deep as it is on the PGA Tour, not even close. And that's one thing that Live Tour's got to look at. And if Live Tour keep dropping weaker players out and keep bringing stronger players in, then that depth is only going to get stronger. So, you know, it's one of those big questions, isn't it? Is a Live Tour event comparable to winning a PGA Tour event? Well, all I'll say on that is you have to shoot extremely good numbers to win on both tours. But you would argue that there's more depth of player that you have to beat on the PGA Tour side than there is on the Live Tour side. But, you know, that doesn't take away the fact that the winning score that you have to shoot to win still has to be extremely high on both tours to win. So as far as who I think will win this match, I honestly have got no idea. I would probably, if they're all playing well, I would probably just favour Scotty and Rory slightly, and that's probably because of the Scotty factor, because he is just so consistent. But, you know, if Bryson and Brooks have a really strong day, then they could be pretty much unbeatable as well. So it's an absolute coin toss. For me, it's going to be absolutely intriguing to watch. I want to see what the dynamic is like between the players. Is it going to be friendly? Is it going to be really spicy? I think both sets of teams are going to want to try and win this for their tour. I think that's why I think both pairs could be really motivated. And that's what I want to watch. I don't want to watch an exhibition match where I feel like they're just going through the motions and they're picking up their check. I want them to really want it. I want them to really want to win it. And if I see that, I know I'm going to be watching it with, you know, a lot more interest, and I'm going to get invested in it a lot more if that's what I feel like, you know, they're invested in it in the same way. Right, so that's it for this quick podcast. I just saw that this was announced and I thought, you know what, I need to go on a quick video about that because I'm really interested to find out of you out there, my subscribers and viewers, as to what you think about this. Get in the comments. Are you going to watch it? If you are going to watch it, who do you think is going to win? What do you think this means for the overall picture of bringing professional golf together? Do you think it's a good thing, or do you think it doesn't really matter whatsoever? Please get in the comments. Let me know. I'm really interested to find out. And I am personally really looking forward to watching this match. I'd love to find out whether you feel the same way. Okay, that's it for this one, and I'll see you in the next podcast.